All right. Well, we're down to the last final few parts. A couple things that I messed up. First off was one of these. I think it's. Oh, let me just get this stuff out of the way here. This back one here, you can see that there is a semicircle. This one I put in upside down. It's this little wishbone sort of thing we got going on here. This little thing is the wrong way, and I'm going to have to mill out the corresponding hole or divot that matches that semicircle keyway there for that. Because you can see that it's meant to be pointing down so that the wheel clears. So it's too high up going that way. So take note of this little part right here in the assembly. Just make sure that you have the circle part facing down. That's the way that you want it, like that, so that the bulk of the wheel is facing downwards, right? So, yeah, note to the builder on that one there. Yep, for sure. What else did I do? Lost a mirror, and we will try. I've looked and looked for it. I can't find it anywhere. It's in a spot where I have to move and take a lot of stuff apart to get to it. And oh, I was going to say, I thought that was a scratch for a second. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scratch build one. So what it is a rectangular mirror. And I found in my scratch build extra doodad stuff, these tabs. They're pretty close in size. So I'm just going to sand off the numbers. It's pretty well gone. And I'm going to join these together and make like a mirror for the passenger side. It'll be a little bit bigger, but I think that goes in line with the passenger side. I think that'll work okay. So I think between these two, I can make a mirror to replace the one that we lost. So we're going to be doing that. We have our decals are soaking over here to the side, and we're going to get our emblems on, and we're going to get our instruments on here. And we can probably actually do that right now. I think it's probably soaked enough. Let's just see here. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to take some Mark Fit, the old trusty Mark Fit, and this is at that stage where you got so many things, little pieces. Just going to get this off from our paint stick and get sort of organization going on here a little bit. Now we dusted the rubber tires just with some flat NATO black. So I think that gave it a nice little thing. I would have shot it with rubber normally, but I don't know. I thought the NATO was in my gun, so it seemed to work all right. Not bad. We might give them another misting before we get in, but they're going to get dusted up and weathered up. So I think that should hide most of that shine that the natural rubber had. We have our turret ready to assemble. So we have our parts pre-painted and pre-built. So we've got our little station here for the gun that sits on top. And our targeting pod thing, our sight is right here. And we just did a little bit of silver in the center there. And what we will do is we'll get out the clear green. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to, we'll do the sights. And we're going to try to do the ballistic glass. So we're going to try to thin this out, and we're going to try to get these side windows here done in a ballistic glass. And then we just have our lenses for our turn signals and indicator lights and stuff like that to do. So we're pretty well down to the end. We've got our wipers. We'll paint in the wipers with the black for the rubber part of the wiper, but they can go on after we get our windows in place. So yeah, we're getting down to the wire. So I think I'll just set this here. There's our doors, ready to go back on. We'll see which ones we're going to pose open and which ones will pose closed. Now we're just going to liberally let this stuff get over this whole surface here, because we're going to want to try to get this decal to conform as best as possible. Alright. I think it just does that center part. So it looks like, yeah, there is our decal. So definitely it's going on that way. So let's get you positioned here where we can see exactly what we want. This was a challenging kit. I went through that sort of Christmas, I don't know, little lack of mojo maybe. We had a lot of, people coming in and out this year, and, just stuff going on. And we did end up taking a little break, and then watching the college football and stuff kind of fell out of our building routine for a little bit, but we're back in action now. I guess it's good to take a little break from anything. You don't want to get burnout. I wouldn't call it burnout. It was just, I think I just, felt like taking that little bit of a break over the holiday. I hope everyone had an excellent Christmas and New Year's. It is, at the time of me filming this, I believe it is the 9th of January. So, yeah, we're well underway. And I hope yours is, things are falling into place for you so far. Hopefully it's a productive year. I think I'm going to let that, now to push this in. I guess I could have done this first, but this time I wanted to try to do the assembly pretty well complete. But there were some spots, like the turret and stuff, and parts of the interior that you got to do before you can paint everything. But I noticed that the Busy Builder, he's pretty consistent that way. He builds like basically the whole kit, and then he gets into the paint. And I have a tendency to sort of put things together, paint them in small, do a lot of that stuff, and I think in some cases unnecessarily. But I mean, it's a process, so we're learning as we go. So one thing you can be guaranteed on this station, on this channel, is that we basically learn as we go here. Not much that we attempt we've done, too many times before. Maybe a couple times, but we're not masters of anything yet. We can get there though. Maybe not a master, but let's just try to. I'm going to keep that brush as flat as possible. And just let that conform. Now we have our side decals that go right here. So they go on this back section. Right, and that section is like this. So it looks like that decal. Just going to go right in here somewhere. So let's get those set on. And we got one for each side. I think just going to moisten this a bit. Here. There's one on. Spin you around. And we'll get the other one on. Let's put a bit of water on there. Let's get you up there. I guess I can use you. Got a hair stuck on there. A pet hair. Oop. Okay, there we go. That gets that on. Now, look at our reference. Looks like it sits right about in between, a little bit closer to the door. Looks like that. Gets that star sitting straight up. Looks like what we want. I did spread this build out over the course of the holiday season, so I would say in all honesty, you know, if you're sitting down seriously to build this kit, yeah, a couple days. The first bits go pretty quick, and then you get into all the doors and the, you know, the smaller bits, so that takes a bit of time. But you know, a couple days, 3 days maybe, you could probably have this thing buttoned up and out the door. It's a little bit higher, but I kind of like it higher. Maybe not. Maybe we'll bring it down a little bit. Yeah, maybe down a little bit. Yeah, that's better. It's funny, eh? You know, placement of something can sort of really change the way your eye looks at the, you know, whether it seems bulky or solid, or, you know, and things being really straight to the eye really sort of makes it look real. Like, it's funny how just the odd crooked decal can really, you know, it's funny. Okay, that looks better. Okay. Make sure you can kind of see in the, I get to get the shine of the light off, so you can really just see that you've got all little air bubbles out. Pretty easy. It's a nice flat surface. I'll just give it a little love with the mark fit. Okay, set that aside. Nope. Okay, so we got our markings on, pretty straight. Got our markings at the back. Got our insignias. And I got one more of those circles, and maybe I'll put it on the GAZ Tiger for when we put them together. Okay, I'm just gluing these hubs on. I got that one fixed and sorted. I just set the tire on it, but I'm going to just go around and just get a little dab of super glue on each of these. Should be enough. And I'm just popping these on first so that they're on good and straight, and then we'll put the tires and the wheels on. See there. I'm just going to hold it in place. Oops, sorry. Getting... It's kind of hard to see, so you got to kind of go by feel. Where it is. There we go. It sits on all four tires. Yay! Awesome. Okay, we have wheels. I guess now we can work on glass and body panels and doors and stuff. So let's get this glued together. I guess I might as well do that now, right? So let's get that. I guess I'll use you again. Good a time as any. Let's get some on you there. Okay, now I just want to see if that'll bite. And we're near the end now. We're got some hatches in our doors on here. Just kind of get you. There we go. So we've got our little, what do you call it? Clamps and our toe step things. I've added some extra grabs. We've got them here above the doors. So I got to add a few of those still, and we're just adding some latches to the hatches that we have open. And I'm thinking I want to maybe add some handles to these. These semicircle ones didn't come with hatches, so we've added some handles to all the latches. I've just been pulling out like little bits, handles from other kits and stuff like that to add on. I've got a little pile of stuff here that we're gonna airbrush up. Just stowage that we want to add in little spots that you're going to be able to see with all these panels open. And we may even pose this under our crane in the garage, lowering this turret unit onto this back module. Maybe we might go that far, but for now she's really starting to come along. Right now I have these fuel tanks that I want to mount, and I just had this old it was a piece of photo etch from something that was to oh sorry, I have this old piece of photo etch here that was a mount for something that I didn't use. And so what I want to do is I just want to make this a rack that can mount in here. I think maybe right in here against the wall, and have it with holding these fuel cans. So I think that'll be a good use for this little piece of photo etch. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to trim off this little piece here. And I want to straighten this out so I can re-bend it. It was a little bit different, so I just want to kind of sort of bend it where I need it. I'm just going to make a little kink here, like that, and then I can use these pliers to bend it right there. So that's what I'll do. So I'm going to bend this. Oh, come on, baby. I'm going to bend this on that little mark. That should put me right there. Now it could be dinged up and bent because obviously it's going to get kicked and, you know, banged around being in the vehicle. Okay, now I should be able to just trim this little nip off right here. There we go. Now, I should be able to set these in here. Oh, come on now. Oh, got some more nubs. Get that one off. I don't know if it's going to be that high, but we'll nip this one off anyways. Now, I get these. Like this, and we know they're going to sit like this. Come on. There. Now I want to get that right in there, right in that corner. Oh, now, come on now. There we go. Oh, maybe I want to do that. That's probably a better idea, isn't it? Right? Huh? Look at you go. Sure it is. That's a better idea. Hold on. Get this one underneath. Get in there, you. There we go. Oh. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. It's in my shirt. Come on. Oh my goodness. Where is it? Found it. Woo! That was close. Okay, we gotta glue that back on, darn it. Okay, awesome, kabawesome. We are getting really close. I'm really glad I found that handle for the gas tank. So I just sort of mocking up. I've got some figures pulled out here. These are Russian, modern Russian military. So I'm just looking for spots to pose them. I just have this guy sort of. I've got some liquid mask, sort of holding them together just temporarily. Just want to see where they might fit, and I think this guy's going to work really well here, sitting on top. And yeah, other than that, I'm just going to set him off to the side here. And I can give you, let's take a, might as well pop this off quick. And it's just, once I get a grip on it, there. And we've got this done. We've got our sight. Can I get in there so you can see that? There we go. Got the sight with the green lens there that you can see. So we've got our whole gun turret put together. I can set over here, and yeah, you know what? I can't recommend this model enough. This is, if you like military vehicles, and that kind of thing, this kit by Trumpeter is a hoot. It is so much fun. It goes together really well. It gives you lots and lots and lots of room. So I haven't glued. These are the last two doors that I have to put on, and I was lucky enough I found some handles that I had here. They were, I think, from a 172 kit, but they're working great. You can see right here on the tops of these ones here, I've used them. So yeah, they work perfect. So I've got two handles to put on for these two front doors, and then we'll get those glued into position. I do have, I think, and I got to be so careful now because I got little handles everywhere. But I do have, so I got some resin to put in here. So I'm going to get the liquid chrome out, and we'll get some chrome inside this, and we'll get this lens put in. We'll get the lens put in for here, the lenses. We'll get the liquid stuff up in there. So we got those lenses put in, and there is a lens on the turret too that needs to be done. We've got our tinted windshields. Now, they're a little bit foggy, and I guess once I get them in, I could get some clear on them. I was premature, and I nipped off the little nib that I was going to use to hold it with a clip, and then clear coat it so that they went clear again. But once I clipped them off, then I didn't really have a way to hold on to them long, like for the dry period. So I figure I could do that after. I'll just get them tagged. But they've been done around with the gasket, which I'm just doing with the rubber black marker, AK marker, which is really making it easy to go around like the inside here, just to give it the white, black, and then you've got your exterior color. And then doing the gasket around the outside of the window. So that's working really good for that, I thought. And yeah, those are in place. So we just have the glass for the side doors still. And I have the wipers here that can go on the front once we've got that finished up. And we have a couple lenses to put in the place here. So we'll get those popped in. And we'll get our last two handles and doors glued into place. We'll get the driver's doors glued into place. And then we can, you know, get looking at doing the final reveal on this baby. I think we're pretty well there. I like the fact that I'm not going to have to glue this in. I can have this so it's displayable. I can leave it modular. So yeah, we've added like a jug of juice here, some sort of kind of different kind of juice. And hold on, let me get the side camera turned on and we can get a side shot too here. I get the side camera going. Ding! There we go. Get the glue out of the way. So yeah, I kind of like the way that we've got stowage. We added in, I haven't decided on this. This isn't fixed into place yet right here. This right here is just sitting there. I didn't know if you'd be able to see it, but you can kind of see down in there. But there's a little photo etch gas tank holder that we made. We can glue that into place. A couple of 3D printed tanks that we got here. We just, you know, sort of painted them out. We got them sitting in there. I don't know, you might be able to see them better from the side. There we go. We got the big gun with the barrel detached and the tripod there. And we've got the other gun sitting here with some extra magazines. Got our bazooka and our extra little tote bag that you can see in the side. And there's our added, can we get in there and see that? Yeah, you can kind of see that. So there's our added displays that I added. I kind of wanted to put in the extra little detail there on the dashboard. So there's the displays that we added. And we've got our doors. So now there's the mirror that we made. Right there. There's the double mirror that we made. And now we just have to do the chrome on the insides. And then we can get those glued into place. We added a little bag here and these extra handles that I had left over from the Tiger, which worked out really good. I had one for either side, so I added on that extra handle. And there's the one on this side. And on the driver's side, I added this little foot peg there so you can stand up and position the light that's on that side. And I add a little greeble here just to cover over the hole from the handle on the outside that you can see, because I was going to have it open. So yeah, we'll get the glass put in there. I just got to do the gasket around it. So before I start fiddling and twiddling with all the little bits, I kind of thought we'd just take a close look, at the inside details. There's the sight for the gun that we've done, and we've got to put some resin in that lens there in the windows, and we'll do the same on the top of the truck. But I think it's turning out really nice. This is going to be, I think, in the end, suspended, like it's being installed into the top. Those little loops there, I'm going to make straps that will connect up to the overhead crane that I've got in the garage that we're going to probably put this in. And I'll be able to store it with it being lowered into place, and you'll be able to see that detail stuff. I think it'll be look pretty cool. And I like the fact that you can leave off the modules if you want and have the inside. And, see all the stuff that you want to add inside. You can go nuts if you want. Like, I had the leftover weapons and the 3D printed tanks there, and I think it's spring a lot. So the little monitors I made up front, I thought they turned out looking pretty cool once I get the front in. I don't think I'm going to have that guy sitting inside. I think I'm going to have him sitting on top. But I'm going to have the doors open and 4 figures milling around between sitting and standing. And I think, next time we'll get the pin wash on. We'll get a little bit of dust effects, and we'll get some pin wash on, and we'll get the windows glued in. And that'll be about it for the model itself. The rest will be figures and posing it in the diorama. But wow, what a kit. Really awesome kit, man. I can't wait to show you the finished model next time when we return. So from me, the model student, thanks a lot. Live, love, laugh, plan something for tomorrow, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.